Welcome back to Contrary, everybody. It is episode 9. We are so glad you're here. So let's hop right into it. Nicole, are you ready for your question of the day?
Yes, I am.
Okay, so this is also low-key a current event.
Okay.
So I know you have seen this because we've talked about this a little bit.
Okay.
But listeners, for context, about maybe a couple weeks ago, a week ago,
Got me nervous.
there was a Willy Wonka experience advertised for people to come and visit, kind of like a theme park type of vibe. And people were charged whatever the pounds equivalent of $30 is. This happened in the UK. I think it was England. And the picture showed one thing as they were developed by AI, but the event itself gave another thing. It was giving dingy warehouse, weird smoke machines, Oompa Loompas, and green wigs. It was weird. Visual folks on YouTube, you get the pleasure of seeing the pictures that I can add into this part, but what a scam. And the internet has just taken hold of this and made so many memes and jokes and tracked down one of the Oompa Loompas in real life and like found her profile. It's been insane. And as a viewer, as a person who did not spend money on this, I think it's hilarious, but maybe not so funny for someone else. So my question for you, Nicole, is what would you do if like you wanted to take baby boy to this event, you spent money on this, you show up, are you laughing? I feel like you're laughing because it's hilarious how
It's
bad it is.
the footage of this thing has been cracking up, and what's funny about it is that has been the influx of photos and videos that have happened over time. So like it's just like more and more keeps showing up on the internet, and it is
My favorite is the one of the Oompa Loompa at like it looks like the tables that you would get in science class where you would do experiments on top of, like a small mobile metal table, and just the despair in her eyes. Like, so would you pull up to the event and immediately find the humor in it, or would you be a little bit mad? Like, how would you react?
I would honestly, I think I would be mad in the moment. I really do think I would be like, is someone going to come out and like, or it gives like the warehouse doors shut, you're locked inside, and then gas, and then you're poisoned, and then you end up waking up somewhere, and you're like,
It's that
guess I
scary.
shouldn't have come in here. That's what it's giving. It's giving kidnapped. So I would have been furious because the pictures are so funny. And like you said, the smoke machine, it just makes it look like
It's crazy. It's crazy. And what gets me is that some of the pictures that have come out have people in it, and so their reactions are hilarious, and some of them are just of the space empty. And I'm also wondering if the folks who were hired for this knew how crazy it was going to be, or did they also show up before to set up and they were like, this is not going to be good. Like, this is
I mean,
not-
I was literally, before I got on this call, I read somewhere that it was like that it was a straight up scam. Like it was a straight up scam. And so I don't know who was in charge of it. I don't know. Faith, the video of video of this thing coming out from behind us. He's got a mask on. And I don't even know. There's there was an announcement before this guy came out. I don't know what was being said. But as he comes out, and he's terrifying. Okay. This is like something that you would see at like a Halloween exhibit. But this guy comes out in a cloaked with like a mask on, and he comes out and like that. And the kids
I have not seen
go, the kids go, no.
What is that? It's the end dog.
It's just all you hear. The video is like clearly of a parent. Of a parent videotaping what's happening, and the kid comes, and the guy comes out, and he starts to come towards the kids, and just you hear a collective no.
Like, please get this away from me. Like, not even an entertain. Like, oh no, like no.
It was fear. Okay, it was fear.
Oh god. It's so good.
Oh god.
It's so good, and it almost feels like something that would be on a TV show. Like, it doesn't feel. It doesn't feel.
It literally was like, how the heck did they get away with? How the heck did they get away with this?
It's like, who do you call? Do you call the police? Like, who do you call
Ghostbusters.
to report this? Like, what happened? Ghostbusters. What happens? I don't know. I would probably be a little bit angry, but I'd also just have to charge it and laugh because the difference in what was advertised and what is was one of the funniest things ever. It was not on the 2024
I was
bingo
gonna
card. I
say
mean, this year
2024.
started messy. It was a messy year to begin with, so God knows what this at the end of this year what the recap is going to be. This has to be on there, and it's going to be that thing that pops up. You're watching the recap in December, and you're like, "Oh, I forgot about that thing!"
Yes.
Like it's going to have a resurgence in popularity in December. Just watch, watch.
Well,
Oh my God.
Yeah, no.
Okay, that was my question. I just wanted to see your thoughts on it, because
it's been great. The development of this has been wonderful for me.
oh my God.
Across the
Yeah,
pond.
it's what dreams are made of. And it's funnier from the outside than the inside. I
Yeah.
don't think anyone was like hurt or put in
No,
danger.
I don't think so.
Hope not.
I don't think so.
It's just really unfortunate.
Yeah. My God.
Okay. That's enough of me. It's time for you to put us on. So what you got for us this week?
Okay, so I have something to put you on because I, as a curly girl, okay,
Mhm.
there are certain things that I need to use more often, but I'll put it
Yeah.
off because it's like, I don't want to go do that right now.
Mm,
But I found something that I'm like, oh, this actually isn't too bad. So
okay.
this brush, okay,
Mm.
now everyone's heard of like the detangler brushes. Like they have
Yeah.
the same like bristles. The Denman brush is the popular one.
Mhm.
But this one I like because, and I think this is why those other brushes don't actually work as a detangler and they still hurt your head. I realize it's because they're still closed on the back.
They're still connected at the top. Yeah.
So this bruh has
Oh.
been amazing because when I comb my hair, or when I brush my hair out, it flows with my hair,
It
and
moves
it
with
doesn't.
you.
Yeah, it moves with my hair, and it doesn't just go yank and then yank.
Ugh.
And so detangling has been so much easier and so much faster and so much less painful with this. I don't know the brand name. I'm like also like 80% sure this may be for kids, but it's called Carico.
Hair is hair, all right?
That's what I'm saying. Because like the font is like it's giving elementary school. But Carico,
Come on, Comic Sans.
literally though. K with a care with a K.
Okay.
Co, like care company. Yeah.
Gotcha.
But this has been a game changer for me. So if you have curly hair and you struggle with detangling, before a wash day, after you wash and are just trying to get everything together, this has been a game changer. So just like I think it's better to find a brush that has the opening and it's easier to clean. Like when you get those little things, you just boop, 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 and take it out.
That's amazing.
It's been pretty awesome for me to use.
Ooh, okay, yeah, that's a game changer. As a person who's like learning how to do my natural hair, and as a person who's going to have a child with a lot of hair,
your kid about to be
on the path. I need as many tools as possible. So, thank you.
Of course.
Okay, all right. We rolling. You ready for GeoNews? Okay, I will go first because mine is quite brief.
Okay.
But it's something that I think needs to be uplifted.
Okay.
So let me go ahead and open it up.
All
right. So just in case you are wondering, we're Free Palestine over here, in case there was any confusion there. So this city, I had Doha, Qatar. All right. And so this comes from Doha News, and it reads, Qatar, France pledged $200 million in aid for Palestinians. Both leaders called for an end to the suffering of Palestinians in Gaza. Qatar and France have announced on Wednesday, that was the 29th of February, a joint pledge of $200 million in support of the Palestinian people. The commitment was made public in a joint statement during the state visit of Emir Sheikh Tamim bin Hamad Al Thani to France earlier this week. The name kept going. I didn't practice. The statement emphatically rejected the ongoing violence and deprivation faced by the Palestinians in the Gaza Strip, asserting both nations' opposition to any aggression towards Rafah. The two countries have called for the opening of all crossings, especially those in the north of Gaza, to facilitate the uninterrupted flow of humanitarian aid. The statement emerged following a series of meetings held in France, which included discussions between the Qatari Emir and several high-ranking French officials. The visit, hosted by the French President Emmanuel Macron, was aimed at reinforcing the strategic trust-based alliance and long-standing cooperation between Qatar and France, which put me on a rabbit hole. Qatar and France have been like chilling, rubbing shoulders. I feel like it's the new, they're the new like Scottie Pippen, Michael Jordan of like world relations. Like there's a lot of investment happening back and forth there, which is interesting. But so it was really cool to see like a joint announcement of aid. Maybe I've missed more that have happened, but being a resident of the States and seeing the silence there, it's just really refreshing to see action. So promises are just promises, but hopefully that can come to fruition and things can be opened up for aid to be received. Hashtag Free Palestine. That is my news. Passing it to you.
Yes. So I had Abuja, Nigeria, which is the capital of Nigeria, which I didn't know till I did research. So
it's okay.
There we go. Okay, so let me open up this article. Okay, so residents barricade Kaduna Abuja highway over kidnapping. Residents of Gonangora in a troubled Chikun local government area of Kaduna State on Thursday barricaded Kaduna Abuja expressway, protesting the abduction of unspecified number of people in the area. The residents stormed the highway, protesting and urging the government to do something over the incessant attacks by bandits in the area. According to eyewitness, kidnappers on Wednesday night through the early hours of Thursday had attacked the community, kidnapping unspecified number of residents. The incident, which an eyewitness said happened from 11 p.m. Wednesday through 3 a.m. Thursday, forced residents to troop out to protest what they described as the audacity of the hoodlums in attacking the area. If that's not the most African thing you ever heard.
I can just hear audacity. I can just hear it.
Yes, you can. The hoodlums operated, this is quote, the hoodlums operated uninterrupted for over 4 hours without any security operatives at site. This forced the residents to come out this morning to protest the incident. We were woken up by gunshots as the bandits entered the community, shooting indiscriminately. Several residents were taken away to unknown destinations by the heavily armed attackers that invaded the area. They came in large numbers at about 11 p.m. and operated for several hours. The residents, mostly youths, have taken their destiny in their hands and blocked the highway, forcing motorists to be stranded before the military came in, shooting, and thereafter dispersed them. It was a hectic day. I'm done. The fact that that's how that whole quote ended.
Oh, that's in the article? I thought you were just like saying that. Wow.
Yeah. So that's that. Can you imagine, bro?
I want to make sure I get this correct. So the folks, the kidnappers, arrived in a residential area to start taking people from their houses?
I believe so. Let me close.
What?
Let these videos be popping up.
That makes me, that's the word. Finding this news on the phone is a chaotic experience. Or hectic, should I say. That is so, I cannot fathom a whole like neighborhood nearly being wiped out. Like it makes me wonder, did one person threaten or say the wrong thing? And is this like a gang related thing? Is this something deeper? Is like, what? Is it just money? And there's like a ransom situation that's coming out. And it's like, well, if we ransom a whole community, then we're more likely to, that makes my head hurt.
How scary.
It was a hectic day.
It was a hectic day. I'm like, you think? Jeez.
What? And Abuja is not like a small podunk out of the way place. Like this is not.
It's the capital city of Nigeria. Like
the capital city of if I'm not mistaken, probably one of the most populated cities in Africa. Maybe. Definitely top 10, maybe top 5. But what?
Yeah, it's crazy. Let me make sure. Yeah, no, this article it's March 1st. So this is like this past couple weeks ago. Yeah. Yeah.
What? No, crazy. I couldn't. I literally a little bit of a diversion here.
I digress.
So if you as like an individual are kidnapped, what are you doing to annoy your attacker? Like, what will you do to make them let you go? Like that little boy who started singing gospel
I literally
songs.
the first thing that came in my head was "Waiting to know" from do you have any Hanson?
Oh, waving through a window.
Yeah, absolutely.
Can anybody see? Get out the car. Please get out the car.
I don't know why that was the first
Okay,
song
if you're
of my
singing
mind.
though,
Yeah.
so that's your song. You're
Yeah.
choosing to sing to the attacker, and that's your
And
song
it has to be a
choice?
show tune because this is the most annoying. Yes.
Nah. So I agree. And you have to sing it at a high tempo.
Yes. And off key.
For me, I would probably like screaming. They'd probably be prepared for the screaming and
Oh,
wouldn't do
yeah,
anything,
for
but
sure.
singing is like a different thing. I would probably sing that song that right now is crossing generations in terms of popularity, which is awesome for Keyshia Cole. But it's that song, Love, never knew I'm doing that for as long as I can. And the goal here isn't necessarily to be yes, it's to be let go. But I'd also be curious to be like, do they know this? Because that can help me profile. A very specific subset of people know that song.
That's so true.
So I'm trying to like, somebody's got to talk to the police. So that would be my song. That will be my kidnapping song choice. Ever drop below. What's your kidnapping song choice? What are you singing at the top of your lungs for them to let you go?
Do you have any clues as to who kidnapped you? I all I know is they know that Keyshia Cole song. Be like, oh,
excuse me. Yeah. So hopefully the people get found, because that is no joke. Like these are lives and individuals that have been in a horrible.
And the fact that the number is in just like they'd have no idea how many people that
right. Is it 30? Is it 10? Is it 90?
Could be
Are
5.
they women, children? Like, what do you mean, people?
Yeah, that's
I don't know.
wild.
I think the news is in on it. That's my conspiracy theory. Like, what do you mean? What do you
literally
mean?
what do you mean?
Whoa, whoa, whoa. This is the best part of the song.
It is. You're right.
Oh God. Okay. Well, thank you for joining us for GeoNews. I hope you learned something new today.
Mm-hmm.
What do we have next?
Oh boy! Guess who's time? Guess who's cracking open the folder now?
Who can say?
Sorry, guys. It is time for Nicole's iconic folder. Okay.
Let's go.
So here's the thing. It's very interesting when Faith and I have very similar types of humor, right? And so when we're going to look for things to show each other, we have to scroll and make sure that either one of us hasn't also liked it, which means they've already seen it. And this was very hard for me because there was one that she ended up sending this morning that I was going to use for this. And I was like, of course.
Sorry.
So we're going to have to think on the fly for that third one. But here we go. Okay. So I'm going to send it to the group chat thingy. In the group that you know what I'm talking about.
Yes. Okay. I'm there. What do you mean?
Wait, I gotta make sure my phone is not gonna spoil it. Okay, here we go.
Okay. Uh-oh. And literally as I open my Instagram, it's the Oompa Loompas.
Yes. Oh wait, I'm sending to the contrary chat, yeah?
Yes. Okay. I'm in there.
Yeah, I'm so excited.
Okay, here we go. So I've got the first video. The name says Michael Dappa, so I know I'm about to have a blast.
I'm gonna mute myself.
Go ahead and open this up. Okay.
Oh, you want me to sing right now? Yeah, sing a song for me. Oh, man. I wasn't even prepared for like a solo, but... Baby, I just don't get it. I don't get it. Do you enjoy being hurt? Who hurt you? I know you smell the perfume, the makeup on the shirt. with a shirt. You don't believe his stories, with his stories. You know that they're all lies. He lied. Bad as you are, you stick around. You stuck around, and I just don't know why. Why? If I was your man, baby, you never worry about what I do. I'll be coming home back to you. I came back to you. You should let me love. I will love you. Let me be the one. I wanna give you everything. Want any? Yo, y'all look like. Y'all just throwing me off.
Wait. The fact that like I have no context for this, but I don't even care.
I don't feel like you'd even need it.
No. Michael Nappa, first of all, what an icon. What sends me is that like he's commentating in between each like little phrase. Because like that's what we sound like when we're singing that song.
He's adding ad-libs that aren't in the song. That's what kills me.
In between every singingle phrase. Ad-libs are like, little surprises throughout the song.
Oh, but she...
Oh, my God.
He says, smell the perfume.
Oh, God. I mean, on a scale of 1 to 5, I will put that as, I got to reserve my 5s for like I can't breathe laughing. So just because I don't know what's next, I'm gonna give it a 4. I'm not. Save my 5.
I'm not.
Oh God. Okay, I'm ready for the next one. Oh God.
Kill me, Preston. What are you talking about? Okay, let me see. Let me go back. Okay. Okay, the next one has been sent. I'm gonna turn myself on mute and find video number 3.
Okay, here we go.
Okay.
Why are you late?
The tree attacked me again.
It's always the tree, isn't it?
Who's that? Azania's wisdom. Swear.
No drooling in the playground.
New girl to hold. Swear on your one. On my one. What class you got? Dark class.
Me too. Yeah.
I heard she's a muggle though. So your mum's a muggle. Oh yeah. Expelliarmus couldn't stop me.
What's going on here? Get to class now.
He broke my broom, sir. No, I didn't. He was talking to Hermione. He's lying. You tell lies.
Where'd you get the potions from?
I can't tell you that, sir. I'm not like those other wizards, you know. So you say? Different.
No potions in the toilet.
Let me see my one.
It's so big. Well, in that case, I'm taking you off the Quidditch team.
Alright. I got it from one of the elves. You mudblood. Yeah? You're a mudblood. You mango.
5 magical merits deducted.
Let me get in this chat.
I've got a man.
You got a man?
No, you go first.
No, you go first.
I'll go first if you go first.
No, that's cool.
That's alright.
How about I
can't talk. I can't talk. You better listen to me, boy.
Him breaking at the end. Oh my goodness. That just makes me imagine a world where, because Harry Potter took place like in late 90s, early 2000s, right?
Yeah.
Like it took place around the time it was released.
I
Like
think
I
it's
wonder what
2000.
Hogwarts would be like now.
Bruh.
Like, and if it was like an all black school, like black British folks they make me laugh
They're
so hard.
different. They are so different. It is, they are hilarious to me.
Oh my gosh, she's new swag. Oh my god,
It was the.
I'm giving that another 4 because that like.
He's like, oh, okay. And then if you like know Harry Potter, you know that's like one of the worst curse. Like that's literally the killing curse.
Yeah,
It's just like wow.
Oh.
A little drastic, but okay.
Just a little bit overkill.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like 4.8. That makes me like imagine a world that I want to see.
Right. I love that.
I love it.
Okay, so we have to. I know you sent this to us earlier, but we gotta highlight this.
Oh Jesus!
Because
okay,
dear God, we just gotta talk about it. Okay, sent. For the people who haven't seen it.
One of the worst anthems, like worse than Fergie. I feel like Fergie's had that top spot for a while. The Cheetah Girls also have a really bad one, but this, here we go. Okay. And our boy Pat Cloud is doing this.
Oh yeah.
Okay, let's do it.
For the real we watch, we're so gallantly streaming, and the rockets are regular.
I'm not a good person. I thought I was. I'm not nice. I'm not nice. I'm a terrible person. All right. Well, there's that. Oh, I'm so sorry, God.
There's so much to unpack.
I know.
There's so much. There's so much to unpack. Like what she's wearing must not be slept on because that was a custom made choice.
Absolutely.
Of course the vocal stylings are actually all over the place, and it's just like reckless abandon. Like thinks that she has natural talent. Everyone around her has told her she has natural talent.
When was this?
It has to be recent because I'm telling you in the past couple days. I have to ask my husband because he'll see who's playing and can give you the date. But like I don't know how this happened. I do know how this happens. Nepotism is somebody's baby. Somebody's
Has
something.
to be.
So people in the comments are like, "Is this like a Make-A-Wish situation?" Like they don't know whether to laugh or to not laugh, and she's a child, so of course you don't want to go too hard. But like, what is going on? And the players, there's one player that's covering his face, but like his shoulders are flat. There's nothing more than being in a room with like a bunch of black men who cannot laugh.
Yeah,
it's the funniest thing.
It
is
best.
The funniest,
especially because one of them is always going to try to make the other one crack. And then it's a wrap.
Oh my God. So I don't know. I need answers. And it's so recent, like it's still unfolding.
Yeah.
I wonder if this is going to turn into a Rebecca Black Friday thing where it's going to be super embarrassing and super hated for a long time. And then she's going to actually get some training. Because you can train some good stuff out of that.
Yes.
Like the confidence is there, which is very hard to learn.
There.
The power behind the voice is there, but pre-puberty, but it's there.
Mm-hmm.
So like maybe this is going to be the Gen Alpha's Rebecca Black, maybe.
Yep.
But oh my God.
Say, can you see?
She also wasn't stopping to take breaths. Can we talk about the breath control? Because it was just like a constant stream of
that yell. Oh, it's the that was the point for me. That was the point. I said, yes, find it. Listen.
Yeah. Yeah.
So there you go.
Oh God, that's a 5. That's another thing that's going to be on that end of year 2024 rap list. That's like, yo, I forgot about that little girl. Like, where is she now?
That's how we open it. If it is a montage, it has to be that audio on top of all the other stuff that's happened in 2024.
Below everything else. Yep. Oh God, you've done a couple anthems, and you know how nerve-wracking it could be. Like, tell us a little bit about that experience. What is it like doing an anthem? Because like her confidence was through the roof, but like, what is that like?
I'm gonna be honest with you. I think I blacked out on one of them. The only one.
What was the first one you did?
I don't remember. It had to be this one. Oh, it had to be this one. I had just gotten back from being a lion in my past life. And it was a Hornets game. So it was in an arena. It was
Wait, was it Bobcats or was it Hornets? Because remember that dark period where we were the Bobcats?
No, it was the Hornets. I don't think it was the Bobcats.
Okay.
I really don't think it was the Bobcats. Anyway.
Okay.
And I was so that means I was in the 6th grade. I was in the 6th grade. So 6th grade, anthem, everything goes dark. I'm pretty certain I messed up the words. Like I literally think I blacked out. I don't remember. Right. And so this is back in the day where I don't know. I feel like you don't have as much trouble with it now. Because I've again sung in that same space and it wasn't as crazy. But the echo, it's that like, say, you can hear yourself singing back. So you have to like somehow ignore the fact that you're hearing yourself. So if you mess up, you hear yourself mess up. Twice, baby. It was very scary. And then because after that is like total blackout when the players get introduced. So it's just like lights flashing and really
like
loud
the weekend
music.
At the Super Bowl.
Yeah. And like and all I remember is my vertigo hit me. The vertigo
Oh,
hit me as I was walking off. So I remember walking with, I don't know if it was my mom or I don't remember if it was my dad, but they were walking with me after trying to get me back to wherever I was. Honestly, I think I went back to school. That tracks. I sang
that's
the anthem,
insane, but very on brand for our
very
parents.
on brand. And then I had to go back to school that day. So, like, who am I? Just like, where have you been? And I was just like singing the national anthem at the game.
Wait, it wasn't. It was during the day.
Oh, it was
It
during
wasn't
the
an
day.
evening.
It was a day game. Some
It
day
wasn't
game.
playing during
I
the
don't know.
day.
Girl, I don't know.
Wow.
Sometimes those random like 3:00 games. I feel like sometimes. It's
Yeah.
weird.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah. No, I just remember being dizzy. So trying to navigate dizziness in the dark with flashing lights, loud music where no one can hear me if I could say I'm trying to say something to my parents as they're walking me.
Yeah.
Terrifying. And I
Oh,
haven't
God.
sang in that space again until 2018 or something like that. Where we had to sing Andrew Day's classic "Rise Up," and I was able to redeem that situation that nobody remembers but me.
Yeah.
Because that was a blast. But
Oh
that
my God.
she had the confidence that I definitely did not have. I was terrified. Now I
couldn't
sang
do
more
it. I
on key, you know what I'm saying? But she had the confidence.
Shout out to that little girl. I hope that she doesn't get demolished too badly.
Yeah, that dress.
Because bullying could get pretty insane online.
Yeah.
But also it sharpens you. So do with that information what you will. Okay, it's time for our chat. So what are we gonna dig into today? What you got?
Okay, so this segment, I'm just kidding. We're not gonna do new segments every time. But today, this segment is called Black People Problems. And so on today's segment of Black People Problems, we're gonna talk about some things that we deal with as Black people, as Black women, that most other people don't necessarily have to deal with. Or we'll talk about things that we encounter that other people might have like questions about, you know? So today, I'm very on theme today. I think it's because I was supposed to have a hair appointment today, but then they canceled on me, so it was fine.
Oh no.
Anyway, but it has to do with hair. Okay. So people of God, I know that it's very well known that Black women don't like to get their hair wet, but I don't think that people know why. Like, I don't think that people who aren't Black know why, or who don't deal with curly, coily to
Textured
texture of hair understand why.
Yeah.
They just think like it's funny.
Mm-hmm.
And they kind of like crack jokes and like laugh at us about it, but they don't actually know like why it's happening. So, all right, people, let me show you. When our hair, say we go into work one day and we have our hair straight, okay? A lot of work goes into that. I'm not gonna get into all that, but we have our hair straight. What happens when our hair gets wet is like, I feel like with some people, when they get in the water and their hair gets wet, it just gets like super straight, right?
Yeah.
Ours does the opposite. Ours goes link, 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 right? Which is beautiful. But if you're not expecting it on that day, this takes a lot more maintenance than having your hair straight. So when you have your hair done and you have like a meeting or something that you know you have to be presentable, and in society presentable is straight, in many ways. And then it's like storm cloud, thunderstorming, rain. You forgot your umbrella. You didn't check the weather. And you have nothing in the car to cover yourself. And you're running. And it's just like, oh my, like, is this going to, like, oh my gosh. So here's, I just want to show this. Shrinkage, everyone.
There it is. So shrinkage is just that. It is your hair when it is in its curly state being a completely different length than it is in its straightened state. And there are multiple ways like to straighten your hair. Some women straighten their hair with textured hair. It takes a perm. Other folks just do like a flat iron. Regardless, there is heat, and if you're getting someone to do it for you, a lot of money and time that goes into it.
Yeah.
And when your hair alters when you didn't plan for it to be altered, that's where the problem comes in.
Right.
That's where the issue
That's
is.
what
And
is
so
happening. Okay, so it's not like, oh my gosh, my hair is gonna be ruined. It's like, no, my hair is going to be in a different state than I expected it to
yeah.
be, and I'm not gonna be able to get it back because the tools that require to get it back to where it was is at the
Or at
house.
home. Yeah. And I also sometimes I just don't feel like it.
Right.
And it's crazy because I think at the beginning, Black women were in this chapter of since the beginning of time doing whatever we want with our hair.
Yeah.
But Black people in the context of Western society, it's been okay, I need to become quote unquote presentable, like Nicole said. And for a lot of years, that was having straight hair.
Mm-hmm.
And then we got to, there have been multiple chapters of the natural hair movement where it's like, I'm going to throw it up and wear it as is. Froze also take a lot of time and maintenance. Like everything we do, it takes time and maintenance. And then now we're in this stage of autonomy and doing whatever the heck you want with your hair, whether that's sew-in, straighten, braids, natural fro, if you're shaving it bald, wigs, like all of that.
Yeah.
There is one offshoot of that that's like, yes, we're doing what we want. And then there's another offshoot of that where I saw on Instagram recently a person talking about and talking to herself, but also just us specifically as Black women. She had her hair natural, pretty much untouched. And it wasn't like perfect, juicy curls like Nicole has right now. It wasn't like a braided down look. It was just what it was for that day. And she was repeating to herself, my hair is done. This is my hair as it grows out of my head. My hair is done. I don't want to add anything to it. I don't want to put a scarf on it. This is my hair and my hair is done.
Yeah.
And that's something that even I'm learning myself as I look at myself waking up in the morning, or if I don't really have time, or if I'm not going anywhere, I'm just wearing my hair as is. If I need to leave the house, there is this instinct to be like, oh, I need to do something, or oh, I need to throw something on, or oh, I need to put on a baseball cap.
Yeah.
And I need to do better at like, no, my hair is done. Like, this is what it looks like.
Yeah.
And when I think about getting my hair wet, just a couple of days ago, I was at a city about an hour away from where I live now. And I was there for the full day. So I was out and about. And it was a kind of gloomy, cloudy, twilighty type of day. And so I was going to bookstores and driving around and walking around a little bit. And at the beginning of the day, my hair looked a certain way. And I had a twist out that day. And at the end, it was the same style, but much more voluminous and had less definition, right? It was kind of like the way that the static on the TV sounds. Young kids ain't gonna know what static on the TV is. But the way that sounds, that's how my hair looked. It was beautiful and I got lots of compliments on it. It was just not what I signed up for that day.
Yeah.
And I didn't realize how big my hair had gotten until I stepped into my car, I sat in my car, and I felt some like tension at the top of my head. It was my hair touching the roof of my car. And that's how big it had gotten.
Wow.
I was like, what is that? It was my hair. And so I was like, okay, I still have a lot of growing to do. I've come a long way, but I still have a lot of growing to do when it comes to, even now, the natural hair look. There is like a presentable version of that now, which literally just comes down to texture. Like this presentable look, I'll never be able to achieve because that's just not what my hair does. So what are some experiences have you had recently with your hair? When it comes to like relearning stuff?
My gosh. I still struggle with like, okay, so when I first met my husband, I was straightening my hair a lot. I was straightening my hair a lot because I felt like that's what I needed to look like at the stage that I was in on stage. And he told me that he liked my hair like this more than anything else. And I was like, yeah, okay. And he's like, no, really. And so I legit, and like, it didn't matter because you know how we are with our moms. It was just like, mom, and your mom was like, oh, your hair is beautiful. You should wear it like that. I'm like, mom, no, I should not.
Right. I didn't want to listen, dog. Nah.
And then Michael said something, and all of a sudden, oh, now you want to wear your hair.
Yeah. Now what says it.
But that's how it was for me. Is like I was like, okay, let me try to figure out how to work with my hair. And so gradually I became more comfortable with it. It's a whole new journey having to do this postpartum. Because for like 2 months, I would say 2 months, I was dealing with hair shedding, and my hair's already fine. And my edges were going even more back. It has since gotten so much better. My hair is so much healthier. But yeah, I still feel like for some reason if I wear my hair out like this, like completely out, no
Mhm.
hair tie, nothing, that it only looks good if I have makeup on.
Really?
Like
Wow.
I won't wear it like this if I don't have any makeup on.
That's so crazy how these beauty standards still have us in a chokehold,
Isn't that
man.
weird?
Like,
I don't know.
for me, and it's insane because for me, I'm like, what do you mean? Like, it's beautiful either way. But when it's you, it's just a whole different ball
Mhm.
game. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
And like, for me, it is when I wear my hair like that, I have to have earrings on.
Yeah,
I have to
same.
have hoop earrings on because it completes the look.
Yeah.
Because for some reason, without it, it's like quote unquote like, oh, maybe I want to be perceived as unkempt or like blah blah blah.
Yeah.
And it's like, why? That's the dumbest thing in the world.
Yeah.
I feel like both of us get compliments on our hair when it's in its most natural state, but why are there still these things that we still deal with?
I
Like,
don't know, man.
and sometimes it's immersion therapy.
Yeah.
Like sometimes it's gonna take me forgetting my earrings, or you just being like, I got to take baby boy somewhere in 5 minutes.
Facts.
It's gonna be.
Yeah.
And realizing that, like, one, the best piece of advice I got when I talk about my social anxiety is like, nobody cares about you that much.
I'm done.
No, literally nobody cares. We're all fighting for our lives out here. Nobody cares.
Yeah.
And two, like, it's really, we feel it the most intensely inside of ourselves. It's never really like
Yeah.
an outside looking.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna ask you next week. I'm gonna ask you as your homework is to go out once with your hair like this.
Here's the thing though. I live in Florida. Okay. So this humidity, well, not yet. It's not as humid yet.
Listen,
This summer, bring
it's gonna do what it's gonna do.
months. Yeah, child, look. And
It's
like,
gonna do what it's gonna
and the
do.
goal is to continue to wear it out like this. I was supposed to have a appointment today, because I need a significant trim. Like I can see when I can see my split ends in its curly state.
It's time.
It's time.
Yeah.
And so yeah, when I put a product in, I can tell. So I honestly feel like a good inch probably has to go.
Yeah, it'll be much healthier for it anyway.
Right.
You know?
So yeah, I just need to get back to it, and I'm using all of the things. And one other thing that I've had to learn is to not touch my hair so much. So you go from straightening your hair all the time, and then I went to wearing my hair natural. But even that natural is still with a curling putty or a curling gel to keep the texture, to keep it looking like it does when it's wet, right?
Yeah.
So this is, if I didn't put product in it, it would still be curly, but it would be a little bit looser, and not as defined, right? So even natural isn't natural. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I went from that to doing my hair natural, but I was still doing a lot of putting my hands in my hair and tugging with my hands in hair. And I remember I had to think back because I was like, when I was a kid, my hair was, if it was in pigtails, I could literally hold it out like this.
But you had very long, fine, dark hair, always.
Yeah. And so I was like, what happened? Like, I never got a haircut, and all of a sudden my hair's here. Like, what happened? And I think it was after that time I spent in New York, and I had a lot of things happening with manipulation of my hair every day, several days a week,
multiple times a day, sometimes.
That it started to fall out on me. And so I had to think. I was like, okay, so when I was younger, I wasn't using the scalp, the peppermint castor oil scalp treatments, and I wasn't doing all this curling putty stuff in my hair. What was it? What were it? And so I called my mom. I called my mom, and I was like, Mom, what did you do with my hair when I was younger? Like, what was it? And it was just like grease. I don't know if y'all remember that grease. Y'all remember that green on the scalp? And there's people who say no to grease. Some people who are like, there's nothing wrong with it. Whatever.
Yeah.
But it came down to keep your hands out of your hair. And so over this pregnancy has forced me, because I haven't had time, to not be in my hair so much. And it's literally the healthiest it's been in a long time, because I wasn't constantly trying to make sure that the texture stayed like this and having to re-wet it every day and put the curling product in it every day, which it's just, and then diffusing it so that the curl pattern stays the way it's supposed to. It's just like the less manipulation, the better, period. Which is why you see a lot of Black women in braids or twists, because it's literally called a protective style, so that we're not having to constantly have our hands in our hair, and our hair is growing
in peace
without us being in it all the time. And so so I'm still learning to deal with it, to you know, learn to how to cope with it being the way that it is. And yeah, it's always a case of like everybody wants the hair that they don't have. And so like, you feel like your bracelet grows out of your head.
That's so real. Like I'm in the DMs of conversing with someone who actually I don't think I ever like physically talked to her in person, but we know each other. We went to the same college and ended up following each other. I posted something about being a curly girl, and people are like, "Why don't you brush it?" And it's like, no, we don't brush it. Not the way you think. And she was talking about, man, like I know that everybody says this, but I wish I had your hair. And I was like, sometimes I wish I had your hair, because I was like, if I could, for me, going to the gym and staying active, I'd love to be able to whip just a bunch of straight, thick hair into a ponytail and go about my day. That's something that I would love to do. And she's like, well, I would love to not look like this all the time. I can't do anything when I curl my hair. By the time I get to my destination, my curls are gone. It's like, what did I do that heat damage to my hair for? But yeah, it's always going to be a learning journey for sure.
Yeah.
And you're not alone in doing it. Your internet sisters are also trying. You're trying to keep your hairs out of your hair. I'm trying to put my hands in my hair more. I'm at any point, I'm this close to locks.
I know, like, that's right.
I'm for real. There's nothing wrong with locks. It's not my journey, but I love seeing them. There's so much you can do with locks.
Yeah.
But in the pandemic, when nobody was open, I was just like, okay, it's gonna be what it's gonna be.
Yeah.
And like I had to really do better at putting my hands in my hair and not just leaving it alone. Like I would make sure it was clean.
Yeah.
And then that was it. I was just charging the rest of it. Because I was like, okay, it was right after I decided to go natural that the pandemic hit. So I was like, great, perfect timing.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Speaking of that period though, I also want to talk about another Black people problem.
Okay.
So I have until now worked in and studied in predominantly white spaces. So when that is the case, I'll just say it, like Black folks across the diaspora, when we dress up, we dress up. When we take care of our bodies, we take care of our bodies in terms of like moisturizing and the what we consider to be dressed up. We don't play around with how we are perceived and how we are when we walk out of our homes. And so when I'm in predominantly white spaces, there'll be times where I'm like, look, I'm gonna put on what I got and do my best. And maybe my elbows aren't as moisturized as they need to be, but nobody's gonna be in the room to identify that. And then when that happens and you have to pivot to all Black spaces, the anxiety in my body of like, okay, my brows need to be right, my hair needs to be right, my fit needs to be right. It's like a lot. So on one thing, it's like, I love that we hold ourselves to such a high standard. That's one of the many things that makes us so special. But it's also like the stress of pivoting into those Black spaces is like, okay, are my knees moisturized? Do I look okay? Do I know all the songs and references that I need to know? Like there is this stress that comes with that pivot. So have you experienced that before?
Yes.
Or have you experienced not being on point and there are more Black people at the function than you expect and you're like, dang.
I'm done. Okay, so you know me. I tend to be more overdressed than 90% of the people in the room.
Yeah.
Which is annoying. Especially Florida. They don't care down here. Okay, anyway. So it's mainly for me is I have to feel like I have to overcompensate to make people feel comfortable around me. Because I think that people sometimes assume that I think I'm better than them. Whether it's
because of how you carry yourself.
Yeah. But it's also because of like colorism. And like I am a brown skin woman and my hair texture is more coily than it is kinky. And I married outside of my race, which is anyway. So it's like
a whole other podcast episode.
Honey, yeah. So it's just like I feel like in those spaces I have to almost like prove that I'm like down.
I'm one of you, I promise.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
It's
yeah,
just
yeah,
like,
yeah.
what is that? It's like we want to tell ourselves that we are um
A multitude of things. We're not a monolith.
yes, we are
Yeah.
so versatile even within ourselves.
Mhm.
But if that person doesn't fit the mold, it's like, wait, I thought there was no
It's great.
mold. Like, which one is
Yeah.
it? Choose lane.
Yeah.
Choose lane.
Yeah. For
Yeah.
real.
Yeah.
For real.
So that's the thing for me.
Yeah, it's interesting. And it's difficult because then if you go on that rant,
Yeah.
I don't want to sound like a hotep. Like, and I don't want to sound like I'm trying to overly explain who I am because I shouldn't have to
Right.
at all.
Mhm.
And so it's a dangerous game to play, but it is a very real thing that happens. And I wonder, I feel like most of us must feel this way,
Yeah.
but we don't really
Don't
talk
talk
about it enough. Like there is no such thing as the blackest person.
No.
There's just not. Like you can go to CU and live in Atlanta and have steeped history and who you are and all that. Like there is no such thing as like the boss
the tribe,
level.
Yoruba, that's your thing, bro.
That's not a thing. So like, what are we even doing here?
Mm.
But yeah, no, that's a real thing. We deal with it on the day to day. If you deal with it, you're not by yourself. But the fun part about that is being black is dope.
Heck yeah. Everybody
And there are more.
It's time to be us.
Everybody want to be it until it's time to get real. But no, it's my favorite part of myself. It is something that I love to share with others when I have the capacity to. You know, things that are unique to our culture. I'm excited to raise up a bicultural, multilingual family, which is going to be really exciting. So yeah, shout out to Black folks. I love you. It's not Black History Month, but it's Black History Month every day. So
Every day,
happy March.
You get the extra day of February. Guess what? You get an extra day of
Let's go. Oh God. All right. You want to close this out?
Yes. Thank you guys so much for joining us today. We are so happy that you decided to spend some time with us, that we do not take that lightly, that you're able to take a chunk out of your day to listen and to watch and just spend some time with us. Make sure you subscribe on our not my camera shifting. Make sure you subscribe on to our YouTube channel. Okay. Yeah, we're kind of everywhere right now, but YouTube is like the place that we want you to be. Okay. So if you've not yet done so, please make sure you go to our YouTube and subscribe there. But thank you guys for supporting us on the audio platforms as well. And we have been loving hearing your messages and just the things that you guys are taking away from it every week, and the laughter that we're providing you guys with. It just makes our hearts happy. As we just strive to keep ourselves happy. So we love you guys. Thank you for joining us, and we will see you next week.
Bye.